That whole show started, and it's called The View because it's supposed to be 5 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much one viewpoint.
That's what I picked up.
Ever wonder what really goes on behind the scenes of The View?
Yeah, there's usually like one token conservative. So I was that conservative for 2 years on this show.
But going into it, you knew that
Yeah.
you were going to be that kind of token target.
Yeah.
Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to spill some tea that'll make your head spin faster than Joy Behar's mood swings. Former host Candace Cameron Bure is dishing out the dirt, and let's just say it ain't pretty. From fake smiles to real catfights, this conservative Cinderella's story will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about daytime TV's favorite family.
So
I did.
what made you accept that job?
Allie, I tried to turn that job down
Are you serious?
multiple times.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. So, our girl Candace Cameron Bure thought she was stepping into a cozy little chat show. Boy, was she in for a rude awakening. Picture this. Little Candace, fresh off the set of Fuller House, skipping into The View like it's gonna be all unicorns and rainbows. Poor thing had no idea she was about to become the conservative punching bag in a liberal boxing match. Now, you'd think a show called The View would, I don't know, actually want different views, but nope. Turns out they were more interested in turning Candace into their own personal political piñata. Can you imagine her face when she realized she wasn't there to talk about her latest Hallmark movie, but instead had to debate foreign policy with Whoopi Goldberg? Talk about a deer in headlights. But here's the kicker. The producers knew exactly what they were doing. They pulled the old bait and switch faster than you can say, "Make America Great Again." One minute, Candace is all set to gab about celebrity gossip. The next, she's stuck in a political cage match with Joy Behar. And wouldn't you know it, the ratings went through the roof. Coincidence? Yeah, and I'm the Queen of England. Poor Candace was caught between a rock and a hard place. Or should we say, between Joy's left hook and Whoopi's right jab. The producers were practically salivating, probably thinking, dance, conservative puppet, dance. Meanwhile, Candace is sitting there like, guys, can we please just talk about Full House? Anyone? No? Okay, I guess we're solving the Middle East crisis today. But hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because our girl Candace wasn't about to go down without a fight. Nope, she decided to level up her game. And when I say level up, I mean she turned into a political study machine. This woman started cramming like it was finals week at Harvard Law School. Picture this, Candace, surrounded by piles of newspapers, history books, and probably a few Politics for Dummies guides, burning the midnight oil. She wasn't just dipping her toes in the political pool, she was doing a full-on cannonball. We're talking 80 topics a night, people. That's more studying than most of us did in our entire college careers. And you know what? Our girl transformed faster than Clark Kent in a phone booth. She went from fumbling through debates to dropping political knowledge bombs like she was born for it. Suddenly, she's quoting the Constitution, breaking down complex foreign policies, and probably making the other hosts wonder if they accidentally hired a secret political genius. So there you have it, folks. Candace Cameron Bure, the accidental political warrior. She came in looking for some lighthearted banter and left as a conservative powerhouse. Who knew Full House was the perfect training ground for the political Thunderdome? Alright folks, let's dive into the juicy drama factory that is The View. You thought this show was all about friendly chats and celeb gossip. Ha! Think again, it's more like a political cage match with less spandex and more fancy words. So our girl Candace thought she was stepping into a cozy little chat show. Boy, was she in for a surprise. The View's producers had other plans. They weren't interested in a friendly gab fest. Nope, they wanted fireworks, explosions, and maybe a few tears for good measure. You see, The View used to be this nice little show where people talked about stuff without wanting to strangle each other. But then someone got the bright idea that screaming matches equal big bucks. And just like that, The View turned into the Jerry Springer Show with a fancy coffee table. The producers became like those evil puppet masters you see in cartoons. They'd be backstage, rubbing their hands together, cackling, make Candace cry, get Whoopi to do the eye roll. Real classy, right? It was less about sharing ideas and more about creating drama so intense it could power a small city. Poor Candace. She's there trying to have a normal conversation and everyone else is playing verbal dodgeball. It's like she showed up for a tea party and found herself in the middle of a food fight. And the worst part? The audience ate it up like it was the last slice of pizza at a frat party. Now you might be thinking, why would they do this? Aren't talk shows supposed to be, about talking? Well, here's the kicker. Turns out conflict drives engagement. The View's producers took that little nugget of info and ran with it faster than Forrest Gump on a sugar high. They turned The View into a political thunderdome. 2 hosts enter, 1 host leaves, emotionally scarred and questioning their life choices. It was less about having a diverse range of opinions and more about creating the most explosive combinations possible. If they could have gotten away with actual mud wrestling, they probably would have done it. And our conservative Cinderella, Candace, she was stuck right in the middle of this toxic soup. Every day was like walking into a lion's den wearing a meat suit. The emotional toll? Let's just say it was about as fun as a root canal without anesthesia. But here's the thing about our girl Candace. She's tougher than a $2 steak. All this drama, it didn't break her. Nope, it made her stronger. She went from feeling like a punching bag to becoming a verbal ninja. By the end, she could dodge loaded questions faster than Neo dodging bullets in The Matrix. Alright folks, grab your popcorn because we're about to dive into The View's idea of diversity. Spoiler alert, it's about as diverse as a vanilla ice cream shop in the North Pole. You'd think a show called The View would, actually have different views, but nope. It's more like the echo chamber with a side of conservative punching bag. Poor Candace, our token right-winger, probably felt like the only meat eater at a vegan potluck. Talk about awkward. Now, let's be real for a second. The View's version of balance is like trying to hydrate with a gallon of wine and 1 measly drop of water. Candace herself said it best when she compared it to putting 1 drop of water in a gallon of wine and calling it hydration. Ouch! That's not just a burn, that's a full-on forest fire. Picture this, Candace, our plucky conservative hero, trying to score a point in a debate. It's like watching a one-woman soccer team go up against a whole squad of liberal goalkeepers. Every time she opens her mouth, bam, interrupted, zap, shouted down, kaboom, dismissed faster than Trump's toupee in a hurricane. But here's the kicker, folks. This isn't just about poor Candace getting her feelings hurt. Nope, this lack of real diversity is messing with the whole dang show. It's like they're trying to bake a cake with just flour and calling it a balanced meal. Spoiler alert, it's gonna taste like cardboard and nobody's coming back for seconds. You see, when you've got a bunch of people who all think the same way, you're not getting a debate. You're getting a cheerleading squad, and let's face it, watching a bunch of liberals pat each other on the back is about as exciting as watching paint dry in slow motion. But wait, there's more. This one-sided snooze fest isn't just boring, it's actually bad for our brains. Research shows that true diversity in media leads to better discussions. It's like mental CrossFit people. But The View, they missed that memo. They're more like the couch potatoes of political discourse, content to sit in their comfy liberal bubble and toss the occasional conservative crumb to Candace. Now, I know what you're thinking, but they have a conservative on the show. That's diversity, right? Oh, honey, that's like saying you've got a diverse fruit basket because you threw 1 sad bruised apple in with your 500 bananas. It's not fooling anyone except maybe the blindest of bats. The real kicker? This whole setup is actually making everyone dumber. Without real back and forth, without genuine challenges to ideas, we're all just sitting in our own little echo chambers, getting dumber by the day. It's like The View is serving up mental junk food, and we're all getting brain fat. Alright folks, let's wrap this up like a burrito of political drama. The View isn't so much about different views as it is about views that'll make you say, ooh, pass the popcorn. It's less of a discussion and more of a carefully choreographed cage match where the conservatives are basically wearing a kick me sign. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about entertainment. It's about the sad state of our political discourse. We're treating serious debates like they're episodes of Jersey Shore. Instead of real diversity, we're getting the TV equivalent of a vanilla ice cream shop in the North Pole. So next time you tune in, remember, you're not watching a balanced debate. You're watching a liberal cheerleading squad with 1 confused conservative mascot. And hey, maybe we should all give Candace a virtual high five. She survived 2 years in TV's toughest jungle. That's like surviving 2 years in a Twitter comment section.